as we look throughout Earth's history, we see lots of different kinds of life that have lived. In fact, we look and we see things that have lived and they've gone extinct, and then new life forms come exist. I mean, if Adam's sin is responsible for all the death in the world, as some Christians argue, how does that fit with Scripture?
Well, first of all, Romans 5 says that Adam's responsible for human death, not the death of all life.
That's an important point.
Quite clear. And Psalm 104 does make the point that it's a property of all life to die off. After all, life is subjected to the law of decay that Romans 8 speaks about, but that God recreates and renews the face of the earth.
So Psalm 104 is actually talking about how God creates and life dies off. So that's not something foreign to Scripture then.
It's not, but it's also making the point that God replaces the life that goes extinct.
Well, that makes sense in a scientific context too, because we know the Earth has gone through lots of changes. It makes sense that different life's going to be able to thrive in different times as the Earth's going through those changes.
Well, that's the theme of Psalm 104, that God's packing the earth with as much life as possible, as diverse as possible, as long as possible, so when we human beings are created last of all, we have the benefit of all the biodeposits that result from that long history of life. And you're right, the solar system's changing. The sun's getting brighter, the moon is moving farther away.
Earth's atmosphere is changing.
It's changing, the radiation environment's changing.
Yeah,
and so we need different life at different times throughout Earth's history. And that's the amazing argument for creation. We see that throughout the fossil record, you have exactly the right life and just the right abundance and diversity to compensate for all the changes that are taking place in the solar system.
Well, in my understanding, scientifically speaking, Earth has been packed with as much life as it can handle, almost as far as we can measure.
The entire period, and we're the beneficiaries of all that. It's part of God's glory revealed in creation.
So when we look at all the Bible has to say about creation, we actually find that God is creating, letting it go extinct, replacing, in order to compensate for the changes that He knows are happening and preparing ultimately for humanity to arrive on Earth. So rather than being something that contradicts the Bible, the fossil record we see actually matches what we expect when we integrate all that Scripture has to say about creation.